Welcome back to Money in the Bank with Frank here at the Harper Belmont Studios. Today we are going to talk a little bit about retirement plans and open enrollment. Enrolling in an employer's 401k plan can be one of the easiest ways for a worker to save for retirement. You may actually work at a company that doesn't have a 401k. Maybe they call it something else. Maybe it's a 403b. Maybe it's a 457 plan. But generally speaking, when I say 401k plan, please understand that I'm talking about an employer-sponsored plan. I'm going to talk generically about retirement plans that are offered by your employer. Again, all of this is not financial advice. Talk to your financial advisor. If you don't have one, feel free to give me a call or pop me an email, and we can discuss directly what might be right for your situation. If you're new to 401ks, it may seem prudent to do whatever the guy sitting next to you says he did, especially if the enrollment forms are included in a pile of paperwork in your orientation, paperwork that you want to just get through quickly. But if you follow a coworker's recommendations or use the plan's default options and then never go back to review your choices, you could miss out on important opportunities and maxing out your retirement savings. Now, whether you choose a traditional 401k or a Roth 401k, you're going to receive some sort of a tax break. Matching contribution you might receive from your company is like getting money for free. I like to say it's giving yourself a raise, because if your company offers you 3% and you don't contribute 3%, you're basically throwing away a free 3%. So by making contributions through your automatic payroll deductions, you can build your account without being tempted to spend the money elsewhere. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. You're not going to notice when you actually spend, whatever you save, an extra 10% from your income. As Americans, we live to our means and we spend what we make. So if you take that money out ahead of time before you actually get it in your bank account, you're much better off and you probably won't even notice it. So do that first. Now, although there's no way to know how much income you might ultimately receive from your investments, given the unpredictability of the market. I mean, I don't think anyone right now has any doubt that there's a little bit of turbulence in the market. But, with enough time out there, it's your time in the market, not timing the market, that's important. So there aren't many financial professionals who would advise against using a 401k plan as a part of an overall retirement plan. That does not mean, however, that you should forego reading up on your plan's rules, the investment options available, or any hidden fees that might eat away at your nest egg over time. If you had a 401k before, the specifics can vary from one plan to the other, and that has to do with things that we're going to talk about now. First and foremost, eligibility. Many employers allow the new hires to enroll in the company 401k plan on the first day of work, and some even offer automatic enrollment. But your employer could have a waiting period of a few months or even a year before you get to participate in it. To get the most from your plan, be prepared to sign up as soon as possible. Know when that day is and pay attention to it. While HR is usually good at their job, sometimes they can miss. So be aware of your own things, put it in your calendar, pay attention to it, and contribute as soon as you can. As soon as you get used to doing it, you'll get greedy and putting that money away and seeing how much money is in there and how it grows. People tend to then do it more. So please start as early as you can. We don't have any more time. That's the one thing that all humans don't have more of, is time. So most companies that provide a 401k plan offer matching contributions to employees who participate, and that amount varies, but it's usually like a 50% or even 100% match on a predetermined percentage of an employee's annual pay. And why don't we explain that a little bit? So a typical matching scenario, let's say that your employer offers to kick in 50 cents for every dollar you put into your 401k plan. The company is going to contribute that amount up to 6% of your pay. So if you earn 50 grand in a year, and you choose to contribute $3,000 to get the maximum employer match, your employer is going to add $1,500 to your account. Pretty nice, right? You can see why advisors recommend going for the maximum match if you can manage it. Leaving that money on the table is like turning down a bonus or a raise. Who would do that? No one. Well, maybe somebody that does want to work. I don't know. Employee contributions. So the IRS set a limit on the amount an employee can contribute each year to traditional 401k, and the limit for 2022 is $20,500, but next year it's going to go up to $22,500. And those who are 50 and older can make additional contributions, catch-up contributions is what they're called, and check with your accountant or your financial advisor to find out what that number is. Actually, HR could probably tell you, or it'd probably be on your employee portal too. So it usually makes sense to contribute at least enough to max out 401k contribution from your employer. Now, if you want to go beyond that amount, some professionals recommend saving 10% or more of your annual salary and putting it into a different type of retirement plan, like a traditional or a Roth IRA, or maybe some strategy outside of your 401k could help you further. Just diversify your mix. Vesting, next plan option. The money you contribute to your 401k plan is yours to keep from day one. So the money that you put in is always yours, but the contributions your employer makes may be subject to a vesting schedule. If you've heard it before years and years ago, it's called golden handcuffs. This is one of those golden handcuffs. That means you might have to remain on the job for a year or more before you get 100% ownership of your employer's contributions. If you aren't sure how long you're going to be sticking around, you're probably going to want to know what the employee's vesting schedule looks like. Next on the list is allocation. Most 401k plans offer a target date fund, which is an investment mix based on the year you expect to retire, as an option for participants. Now, they're a popular default choice because they're easy for hands-off investors who aren't interested in creating or monitoring their own mix. But that convenience may come at a cost. The fees for managing the fund that way may eat away a little bit at the money you're trying to grow. And if you're invested in only one fund, you may not be as diversified as you think, especially if your 401k is your only retirement account. So ask your plan administrator about all the options. And remember, you aren't locked in. You can always change your investment choices to better suit your goals or your personal tolerance for risk. Now, the next option is taking money out. This one comes up so often, and it's a little frustrating. Life gets a little hard. So taking money from your 401k might be the last thing on your mind when you're signing up for a new account. But because life doesn't always go according to plan, it's important to know the rules and the pros and cons for loans and hardship withdrawals and what you can do if you leave your employer. There's some basics you should really know about. First and foremost is loans. Now, a loan is many of these plans allow you to take a loan from your 401k, borrow money from your 401k, and pay it back to yourself over time with interest. This is really good. This is a good option to have. You're effectively acting as your own bank, right? So the interest goes back into your own account. You won't have to pay taxes and penalties on the loan unless you default and you're under 59 and a half. Remember, if you're over 59 and a half, that's the normal retirement age. So you won't have any penalties unless you're still working, in which case you can't withdraw from your 401k yet. But you will miss out on the growth that you would have had if you kept the money in your account invested in whatever funds that you had it in. Now, if you leave the company while you still owe money, you may have to pay back that loan faster than you planned. This is very important because if you left your job and you have a loan out, and your company does not allow you to borrow, you're either going to get hit with taxes on that if you don't put the money back in. And most times when people leave a job, they may not have that hard asset cash to pay that money back. That could be ordinary income for the year plus a 10% penalty. So it's no joke. It's very painful, and it usually comes at a time in your life where you really can't take that much more pain. So be very careful about taking loans out or making decisions that could affect that. Next, we have a hardship withdrawal, which takes money permanently from your retirement savings. You don't have to pay the money back, but if you're under 59 and a half, as I said before, the amount you receive is going to be reduced because of a 10% early withdrawal penalty, and then taxes you're going to pay to the IRS. Instances that qualify for a hardship withdrawal include divorce, adoption, disability, and high medical expenses that are not reimbursed. You can get help. You can ask your HR department or your plan administrator for information about your 401k, but the decision making is still going to be left up to you. It's a lot. And managing your 401k is just part of building a secure future. So if you don't have the time, energy, or desire to figure it out on your own, contact a financial advisor. They can help you look at your 401k, all the choices, as well as the other things that are going on in your life. Thanks so much for checking us out here at Money in the Bank with Frank. Look forward to talking to you next time.